Confirmed tornado on the ground right here, southeast North Dakota, heading towards Hanson, heading towards Fort Ransom. Here is the area that we're worried about. It's moving north now. If you're in Hanson, it's on your doorstep. Seek shelter, that interior room. This storm was capable of some up to 1-inch hail. It looks like on the latest scans, some of that threat might be diminishing briefly, but it is moving northward. Okay, those showers extend down towards Fullerton and not far, just off to the east of you folks in Ellendale, and in Oaks, you're probably getting thunderstorm activity. Lisbon, you're getting good old-fashioned rain and thunderstorms. Notice this is yellow here. Not seeing any indications of anything too stout as far as the potential for a tornado with that particular cell. If you're in Lisbon, there's no tornado warning and the threat looks fairly low. But if you are in Hanson, that threat is high, and I will go ahead and turn on the velocities to show you. This one's fairly close to the radar. I'm going to go back a couple scans and see its evolution here since John sent us the photos. I noticed that I don't even see. Okay, has Eric called in? Okay, would you let Eric know that we can't get his audio, even though he's called in, we need to get his audio. Something's going on there. Sorry about that, but we're live covering stuff. Interesting thing here, we're seeing all reds. All reds would indicate motion away from the radar. So even though this storm is fairly close to the Aberdeen radar site here, we're not seeing that crystal clear rotation in the storm at any time over the last hour. No sign of crystal clear rotation on the radar. That means it was just a thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. Our Doppler radar couldn't even see it. It was such a small rotation that made its way down to the ground. And the other thing that we're dealing with tonight is how shallow these storms are. These are not towering 50,000 foot storms where we can see the rotation way up. They're shallow 25 to 30,000 foot thunderstorms. So the radar can miss it, and it looks like it may not be able to see very well. There is a little rotation right here. It's very weak, but that's all we're seeing. It's not very clear. So the warning came out a little bit after the time that we spotted that particular thunderstorm, and that's one of the reasons why these things are hard to track, but it's even more important to illustrate to you that we need your feedback. We need spotters out there like Eric Whitehill in the field. If you do have his video, guys, if you want to put that up behind me, I'll try to see what it is he's explaining. And then if we can ask him, Nathan, exactly where he's at, that would be wonderful. Looks like he's on interstate right now, I-29, heading south towards the storms. He's driving through the rain that we're seeing on the radar site. And again, he is en route. I can see here some clearer skies off to the south and to the east. This would be the southwest of his location. That might be the area of the rain-free cloud bases that he's trying to get to. If you do get Eric on audio and we can talk to him about what he's seeing, that's good. But he is very close to where the activity is becoming more robust. Let me see when he gets by this tree what we can see here, because that's really close to where there is a rain-free base. And did you say you had him? Okay, that's good. All right, not yet on Eric Whitehill, that's okay. Let's go ahead and take one more look at, for those of you just joining us, we're continuing our coverage of tornado warnings on a line of storms. It's moving right over the South Dakota border. We're looking at the velocities. We have a tornado warning in effect right now for the Hanson area. This is just off to the east of you in Oaks, to the west of Lisbon. Lisbon, you are not in the warning. You have storms, but that one is not a tornado producing storm, at least is what we're seeing. We have multiple storms here on this flank of the line of storms from Hankinson right into Wheaton right now that are showing signs of rotation. These are all moving at about 40 to 45 miles per hour to the north and east and continue to produce that rotation and threat of tornadoes. And we're doing extended coverage now because these storms are actually moving into places like Lidgerwood. They're moving into places and through places like Wheaton. And now they'll be moving into places like Herman and Grant County as well. And Fort Ransom, the rotating storm producing the tornado on the ground we've showed you pictures of, is in the line of these storms as well. Checking in on the warning here and the Hankinson area. This storm looks like it's right over Hankinson right now. I'm going to look at the rotation on that. So if you are at Hankinson, there is rotation on that storm right now. So this shows motion in green towards the radar in Aberdeen, and the red is motion away. That is rotation or spin in the clouds. Is right over Hankinson. I want to take a look at the sky cam right there at this particular time at the Dakota Magic Casino. Look at that. There's an ominous looking cloud. If you are in the Hankinson area or at the Dakota Magic Casino right now. We're using your camera. This is a lowering cloud base right here. So when you get a thunderstorm, it gets lift in the atmosphere and that moisture in the air condenses at a certain level. But when we get a spin in a cloud, sometimes that can cause a lowering called a wall cloud. We've got something funky going on here. I might just call that just a little lowering, but this is a big, large area of lowering right here, and it's got that flat base. That's called a wall cloud, and under there might be where we would have some of that rotation that's causing the lowering pressure or the lowering of the cloud base as well. So we're watching for that spin or a spin up in that exact area right now, and there is rotation showing up on the Doppler radar just near the Hankinson area. If you're in Hankinson, it's a good idea to seek shelter in that interior room, staying away from windows, lowest floor possible, get out of things like mobile homes and manufactured homes. These storms tonight, even though they're not impressively tall, they're not the 50 to 70,000 foot thunderstorms, they have quite a bit of spin. What's that? Okay, so now we've got Eric Whitehill heading in on the same storms. It looks like he is off the interstate now and heading towards some storms. I want to say, based on the light, I'm just guessing from that these storms are being lit from the back. So he might be moving east into Minnesota. I'd love to know or ask him where he is. If you can ask him on chat there what road and what direction he's moving. No answer? Okay. Yeah, okay, so these are lowering clouds, and he's watching this similar area of clouds that are lowering. I'd love to know exactly where he is. Let me see if I can find out. At 3:42, a few minutes ago, Clinton in Big Stone County reported a tornado, confirmed by the Graceville Fire Department, and based on radar, the time was estimated. So the Clinton area in Big Stone County to the south did get a tornado on the ground as well, reported after the fact. Now these storms are making their way up in towards Hankinson. They're making their way up into Grant County. We have Eric Whitehill en route, and we're asking him exact location. So that's what we're doing. And there we go. All right, so we're passing along communications to the Weather Service on what we're seeing as well, because your eyes and your photos really help us pick out what's going on with these storms. So lowering clouds moving through the Hankinson area. Right now there is no warning for Hankinson, but the storm is showing some signs of rotation as it works its way through. Here's the latest rotation on that latest scan, and it is literally just near and south of Hankinson. So we have a couple of areas here and one here, but this area here moving up right into the Hankinson area, showing some signs of rotation. I did not see indications on the Doppler radar, on the Skycam from the Dakota Magic Casino of anything in contact with the ground, but it's sure dark skies right there. Continued tornado warning for Wheaton, but the storms are moving north into rural parts of northern Traverse County. These are also punching into south and western portions of south of Elbow Lake, and not far from you in Herman, and also Wilkin County now, heading in towards Lidgerwood and making its way towards Wahpeton, Breckenridge, Rutland. All of you folks will have to be aware that there'll be some storms, and the tornado producing storm with the confirmed tornado continues to move north. That's heading in toward Fort Ransom. But if I loop this, you could see, I'll loop this for you so we can all look at it together. Okay. This is a tornadic part here that was rotating. That's the one that the warning was issued for right here. And up into Fort Ransom, we have another little cell that's popping off towards you. The rotating part is over here. So now I'm going to confirm that I'm telling you what I'm telling you looks to be right. So I'll pause this and go with the radial. Look at the spin. Yeah, so that's the area of spin there. If you are in Fort Ransom, you should be seeking shelter. You are in the tornado-warned area, but that tornado-warned storm is starting to glide off a little bit more to the west on the western reaches of that warning, just north and east of Verona at this time. Okay, so we have the line of thunderstorms. We do have confirmed reports of a few tornadoes. You've shared pictures with us. It does look like they're starting to move up into the Hankinson area right now. They're moving up in towards the Breckenridge, Wahpeton area right now. And here is a look from the Dakota Magic Casino as we take a peek at those cells right now. I'm going to take a closer look. So we're scanning the skies. This is going to be to the north and east of the Dakota Magic Casino. So there's some lowering cloud bases there. So that's the north side. There's the I-29 corridor right there. This is what's heading up to Wahpeton, Breckenridge right now. And again, there's some rain in these storms. So we have had reports that one of the tornadoes that occurred earlier in South Dakota, not far from the Sisseton area, quickly became rain wrapped, which makes it impossible to see when it lifts or when it wraps up. Now you're looking westbound from the Dakota Magic Casino. We're going to swing around just off. I think that storm with the rotation was mainly west of the Hankinson area. Down to the south, which is where we're pointing now, south of Hankinson, the skies are becoming more clear, and that's a very, very good sign. So the threat is mainly west and north and northeast of the Dakota Magic Casino right now, as we can kind of keep our eyes trained on those storms. And that's exactly what we're going to do here at Valley News Live. It does look like I'm going to get the latest on tornado warnings in all likelihood. Some of these are beginning to be wrapped up at this time, but we still have some concerns as these continue to make their way up into the Fargo-Moorhead area here a little bit later. That threat for severe storms is going to continue. This particular tornado warning west of you in Lisbon was an observed tornado. We showed you pictures and video of that from our friend John out in the area there, and that is in effect until 4:45. There is the potential for some hail up to an inch, but it looks like that threat is winding down to me on the basis of the latest scans. If you are in the Lemoore area, we do have a cluster of storms that you can even see this kind of spin that the storm is undergoing as it's working its way through an environment with a lot of spin. South of Lisbon, you just have garden variety thunder showers right now. You are not in the warning, but it's just off to your south and to your east that we have a pretty robust thunderstorm cell here that's moving in towards the, north of Milner and rural portions of Sargent County. Wyndmere also seeing a pretty stout storm. I'll look at the rotation real quick. I do see just a little blip of it. Remember, I showed you earlier, it doesn't take a lot in tonight's environment to produce a possible funnel. So here we have motion toward the radar. Here we have motion away from the radar. That's it. Wonderful. Let's go to that. I'm looking at a storm north of Milner right now that has no warning on it, but does have some spin in it. So again, I think the main point here is that as this line of storms moves towards your area, the environment is capable of producing tornadoes, and we've talked about that for a couple days, and that's what's transpiring. So be ready to get to your safe location. Joining me now, Eric Whitehill. He's our storm chaser here and the storm team keeping our eyes on the skies. Eric Whitehill, first and foremost, can you tell me where you are and what you are seeing right now? I see some sun on the grain.
Hey, Hutch. Right now, I'm just north of the Dakota Magic Casino. I'm looking off my northwest, and I just had a funnel that was about 2/3 of the way to the ground, it appeared. It was just over the treetops, I think you were just talking about. And I think the Weather Service might need to get a tornado warning on it because that wall cloud is continuing to persist. This storm does not look like the funnels and tornadoes that we were seeing down in South Dakota where they're no base. These ones that I'm seeing, they've got a base. They've got what appears to be a wall cloud, Hutch. And everywhere I'm looking to the front, I'm looking to the north of me, I'm looking off to the west. I'm seeing these lowering bases with a lot of action underneath them, including directly to my north, which I'm just changing around. And if you look right now, you can see just off to the right, there's another little lowering area that I'm watching as well, because that is exhibiting some signs of spin, a lot of upward rising motion, clouds moving up and into this cloud base. And so it's something that I'm watching very closely as the storm continues to move all the way to the north, and it continues to move to the north. And it looks like I've got a little funnel right in front of me as we're talking right now, Hutch.
Eric, can you tell me one more time exactly where you are?
I am on I-29 northbound. I'm about 2 miles north of the Dakota Magic Casino, and I'm about 4 miles, 5 miles, it looks like, from exit 8, and I'm looking directly to my north.
Okay, so I just wanted to co-locate you.
I-29 northbound.
Yep, wanted to co-locate you on the radar here so we can confirm what you're seeing. But yes, I do have a velocity, what we call a velocity couplet there, or some rotation showing up in the storm. There's another area out near the Gwinner area that looks interesting to me. So we appreciate you, Eric, for doing what you do. Please stay safe and be sure to holler with us and let us know if there's something that does transpire. Those are the storms to be watching right now. So Eric Whitehill, Valley News Live, first alert storm team down at the I-29 area, just 2 to 3 miles north of you in Hankinson, where these storms have blown through, continuing to produce cloud-based low rings and funnels as he is reporting, working his way north. We'll continue to keep our eyes on that. Eric, thank you very much, and just holler once again. Thank you. Okay, so if we can go back to Max 1 then from Eric's view here, and if you want to, in the control room, put Eric's video up in boxes. If something looks interesting there, let me know. But I just wanted to point out to you viewers, here's I-29, Eric is on that, here's Hankinson, and he is just a couple of miles north. So he's looking into this system here, and that particular area right here, if we zoom in on it and look at the velocity, he had that area of spin that he was talking about. Here it is, it's showing up, and it's exactly located with where he is and what he's seeing. He said to the right of the road, to the right of the road. He's seeing this, and underneath it, he's getting funnel clouds. So this is a dangerous storm. It is just south of Great Bend. I will point out where it is. There is no tornado warning for this particular one at the time. It's about 7 miles as the crow flies. Southeast of the Great Bend area. It's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. These are fast movers. They won't stick in any one place too long. But again, Eric Whitehill is monitoring that particular area of spin. Now, there is a continued warning for this area right here for portions of Big Stone, Traverse, and Roberts County, for this area of light spin that continues to work its way into the northeastern quadrant of the county. It has stayed for the most part out of western parts of Grant County. We did get a little bit pushing in towards Herman, but the rotating part remains out here in Traverse County, the far north and eastern quadrant of it. That warning is in effect for the next 3 minutes or so, as that storm will be given enough time to likely exit your area. But if you're in the path of that storm, that one is rural, and that one is exiting the warned area. North of Hankinson by a couple miles, we're watching that storm just to the south of Great Bend, and Hutch is also continuing to monitor the storms moving into the Wyndmere area. And this one here, well, let me pull this radar view back up, just north of Milner. And this storm north of Milner right here is about 9 miles northeast of Milner, showing some very weak rotation on the radar. And again, I want to remind you, even though there's weak rotation showing up here, the radar is looking up in the sky at the cloud level. A lot of the spin in our atmosphere tonight is lower than that. So it's not showing up too impressively here with bright, vibrant green and red next to each other. We just have a rotation and a couplet just north of the Milner area. That one continues to track northward. Let me find and locate some communities in the path of that particular storm. Okay, so if you happen to be here, just east of the Lisbon area. Something is off with my computer. I think it needs a cup of coffee. I'll be in the Venlo area by 4:36. It'll be up in Maple River. You see that, Nathan? It didn't even draw the colored box. Nonetheless, that one will be pushing up into southern parts of Cass County right now. So we are seeing some spin or some shear with this particular storm moving north at about 40 miles per hour. So we're going to have to track this one pretty closely. That guy there is spinning. Doesn't look particularly nasty with a lot of reds or pinks on the radar as far as hail potential goes. But if you joined us for Valley News Live last night, that wasn't our number one threat. It was this tornado risk this evening that has developed. Moving into Breckenridge, Wahpeton, we have a line of storms that's moving out of the Wyndmere area as well. So this line will be punching its way up north toward the I-29 corridor, and we'll keep on top of them for you. As of right now, the tornado warning that was in effect for the area to the west of you in Lisbon, that's been expired. That's good. The tornado warning that was near the Wyndmere area, that too has been expired for now. We're going to go ahead and do this. As of right now, there are no more tornado warnings. We do have spinning storms that are moving in the general direction of southern Cass County. We have spinning storm moving in the general direction of you and Breckenridge. We have our Skycam network, including the Dakota Magic Casino that has a beautiful bird's eye view into the back of the storm, as well as our storm chaser, Eric Whitehill, keeping his eyes on this entire line. We're going to head to break and we're going to come back. We'll continue to track these storms. Keep in mind, if the storms approach your area and you hear thunder and lightning tonight, that's going to be a sign that there is going to be a risk of some volatile weather. The main concern is going to be that tornado threat. If you're getting rain and stormy weather, but you're not hearing lightning, such as up here, the risk of severe weather is very, very low up there. And in fact, it's nil right now. This line here is going to be the producer tonight. We'll keep on top of it right here. Valley News Live, First Alert Weather. We'll get you back to your programming right now, and we'll let you know the minute we know anything volatile is out there. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe.
For continuous weather coverage, download the free Valley News